Greetings and salutations, viewers and listeners. Welcome to another episode of Game Break. I am Charles, coming to you today with another episode of Everlasting Summer. Now, last episode we had some shenanigans with the needing a shower or wash, since they don't really have shower stalls, and then tried to figure out what was going on with Electroni and trying to get bossed around by various women again. But there's still more to this story. There's still a few days left before the bus theoretically returns. So let's hope that today we actually get some freaking answers. Something, some ideas, anything, something. Please. And preferably less scenes where I need to start editing and censoring. Pretty please. That would be appreciated. Electroni was building something with rapt attention. Now I'm done with everything. So I thought you could get me something as you promised. My voice sounded a bit sycophantic, which was enough to drive me mad. Of course, I'm not insisting, but... 1 minute. He tore himself away from his work and got a pair of buns from the drawer and a classic triangular pack of kefir. Be my guest. Thank you. While I was busy eating, Electroni didn't turn away from his device for a second. He was rolling up the wire, which I had taken away from Ulyana, onto the coil. So, what's this? An inductor. Inductor? Join our club and you'll know everything. He looked at me and smiled slyly. I'll think about it. Of course, I wasn't going to join anything, but taking into account that he had fed me, I had to be polite. By the way, as I said, I have something else. Well, yeah. Wait a second. He went into the adjacent room and came back after a minute with some kind of package. Da-da-da! And gave it to me. Okay. Why is Electroni giving me his package? There was a big bottle of Stoloknaya vodka inside. Ooh. Huh. I get it, but it's still morning. Or does Electroni share the motto of get drunk in the morning, take the entire day off? What are you talking about? I'm not suggesting we drink it. We have it to clean the optics. Of course. Cleaning the optics. Yeah, right. Internally. Okay. I gave him the package back. I'll go then. Come back anytime. Of course. The moment I want to have a drink. Walking out, I questioned myself why he wanted to show me the vodka in the first place. Suddenly, my hunger returned again. For sure, a meal of some buns and kefir was awesome, but it's not enough to fill me up. Nice. Luckily for me, I heard the bell sound, calling pioneers for lunch. The day has just started and I've gone through so many things already. But I did it, and now have legitimate grounds to fill myself up. Today I wasn't the last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included pea soup and mashed potatoes with fish. It was a major disappointment to me as I don't eat fish in any form, and hence will get fewer calories than usually. Soon, Slavia and Lena came to my table. Oh, hi. Can we? She smiled nicely. Eh? Yes, sure. I stood up and pulled out a chair for her. Please. I was in an excellent mood at the moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena began staring at me and continued for some time, but then, after realizing how odd she looked, switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Semyon? Nope. I gave her an honest answer, as indeed I had no plans. Except for searching for answers, but that was more like a global goal. Do you want to take a boat ride to the island with us? There's an island? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga Dmitrievna asked us to gather some strawberries. There are a lot of strawberries there, and they're so delicious. Right. I could imagine the taste without even eating it, just by looking at Slavia's face. Strawberries. And what are those for? For eating, silly. I don't know, but it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I haven't been to the island yet. Yeah, sure. And cutscene, I guess. Within minutes we were standing at the pier. Well, here is the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the paddles now. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberries? Well, not really. But they are tasty. Lena smiled. I see. I didn't know what to say next, how to continue the conversation. If Slavia didn't come back, we could probably sit here till the evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Yeah, thanks. We got into the boat. I untied it, pushed off the shore, and tried to start paddling. And where exactly are we headed to? Right there. She pointed her finger at the island. That island is named the closest one. I presume that's a literal translation. I wonder what captain gave it such an original name. Well, the island is indeed close to the shore. Aye, aye, Captain. If only I'd known what was waiting for me ahead. Foreshadowing. I wasn't an experienced oarsman. I'd rowed a boat just once or twice in my entire life. It was less than half a mile to the island, but we were making our way in zigzags thanks to my skills. By approximately the middle of the trip, my arms hurt so badly that I dropped the paddles to get some rest. Well, Aren't there any strawberries anywhere else? I mean, in more accessible places. But the tastiest ones grow there. Slavia gave me a puzzled look. Is it hard for you to row alone? Lena, unlike Slavia, understood everything straight away. Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, I couldn't let a fragile girl help me. The rest of the way I spent concentrating on staying alive while getting to the island. Slavia and Lena discussed something, but I wasn't listening. That was too much for me. At last, we arrived. Completely exhausted, I got out on the shore and looked at the boathouse. It seemed so far away that I felt like a first person on the moon watching the Earth rise. Here you go. Slavia handed me a basket. It was a small island, barely 100 meters long, and it looked more like a birch grove with even rows of trees covering its entire surface. A calm green sea spread beneath our feet, with wind causing lonely waves on its surface from time to time. This island looked like a lost paradise. It's no wonder that the most delicious strawberries grow just here. We've got to split up, that way we'll get the job faster. Yeah, sure. But there are only 2 baskets. Oh no, said Lena humbly. Oh, you're right, my bad. So how are we going to split up then? Ha ha ha. Lena's really confusing me, and she knows things about this place, or she knows more than she lets on. But we have been ignoring a lot of the other characters. And Slavia is the one who suggested this idea. So she'd know where all the strawberries are. So she could get this over with quicker. I didn't want to walk here alone and hoped that Slavia would join me, but I couldn't bring myself to ask. Well, it's obvious, 1 basket for me and 1 for you 2. No, let me go with you. Slavia smiled. Okay. I was a bit surprised, but I was also glad that it turned out like this. Lena seemed to take no offense at all. The reaping has commenced. The strawberries were delicious here, indeed. I could probably eat them all if I didn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild-grown, the berries were close to the garden ones in size and had a rich red color, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Slavia was walking right beside me as we had only 1 basket. I felt like a mushroom picker, looking under every shrub and searching through the grass carefully. Pay attention! An entire bunch of strawberries had been left behind. Ah, yeah, I'm sorry. It's fine. You must enjoy being here, don't you? You like nature after all. Of course I do. Slavia smiled. It reminds me of my home. We have similar beautiful birches there. She gazed grimly somewhere into the distance. Look, I've always wanted to ask, What do you like in general? You look busy 24/7, and it seems like you have no time to rest at all. She started to think. I don't know, really. Doing a variety of activities is enjoyable for me. Well, that's understandable, but still. I like knitting and sewing. Things like that. Slavia took a handkerchief out of her pocket. There were red, yellow, and green flowers embroidered on it. They were entangled with each other in a complicated way, creating sophisticated geometric forms. Such a typical Russian handmade handkerchief. Glimpsing it, I instantly imagined Slavia dressed in an ancient sarafan, sitting on a bench beside a ramshackle house with a crowd of playing children running around. It's quite cute. Thanks. Let me give it to you as a gift. Such a proposal embarrassed me. You shouldn't. No, take it. I looked at the handkerchief once again and put it into my pocket. Thank you. There were so many strawberries here that after a mere half an hour we had the basket filled up to the brim. Seems we're done. Yes. We've got a lot, so it should surely be enough. When we got back to the boat, Lena wasn't there yet. She'd need more time to fill the basket by herself. Yeah, I guess so. I looked at the river. Sun sparkles happily dancing across the water's surface were the only thing that distinguished it from a mirror. That's how calm the river seemed. What are you thinking about? Nothing, really. And you? Me? What will happen once vacation is over? We'll have to leave this camp and go back to our homes. Will I ever see anyone I met here again? Will I ever see you again? She looked at me with her eyes so full of sorrow that I couldn't think of what to say. There she is! Lena came out of nowhere, breaking the silence. Oh, you're done already? Here. She showed us a basket full of strawberries. Great. Now we can go back. And I still had Slavia's face and those words of hers on my mind. Sadness and sorrow weren't the kinds of emotions typical of her. Could she be hiding them all the time under a mask of cheerfulness? I had no answer to this question, but I knew I couldn't find one either way. I was really hoping to get answers from a different person, but no, they're just not going to give me anything. Maybe later. Yeah, that would be nice. The way back took less time as I tried to concentrate on rowing and ignoring everything else. My only wish was to get back alive, as the first trip hadn't gone without consequences, and now my hands started to hurt after only a few sweeps of the oars. Having tied up the boat, I fell to the ground with no energy left. Slavia and Lena leaned over me. You could have said something if it was so hard for you. Yes. Never mind. It's fine. I'll just lie here for a bit, and everything will be all right. Okay. Then get those baskets to Olga Dmitrievna, please. We have something else to do. Really? Yeah, sure. I was ready to agree with anything at that moment, just so I wouldn't have to get up. Slavia put the baskets full of strawberries next to me and headed to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest part is done, anyway. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After the rowing, they felt like cement bags, even while weighing barely more than a few kilograms each. So the trip to the camp leader's cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop every 50 meters to have a rest. Once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat on the deck chair with difficulty. Olga, I've got presents for you. There was no answer. I barely managed to get up and enter the cabin. There was nobody there. If you don't need them, it's up to you. I lay down on the deck chair and fell asleep. I had a weird dream about a strawberry race. I have concerns about those strawberries. I was rowing a boat with my last ounces of strength, trying to escape huge berries that were chasing me. My hands were failing me, and I could barely see anything because of the sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the strawberries were getting closer. They were baring their teeth at me. But wait. Strawberries with teeth? Semyon! Semyon! Wake the fuck up! I woke up. Olga was standing beside me, shaking my shoulder. I see you got a rich harvest, didn't you? I mean, I helped. But most of my work was just rowing the damn boat. Okay, but that's not all. It's not? Seriously, was I just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have? Do you even know what these strawberries are for? Not a clue. What an honest confession. We'll make a cake out of them. Cool. I see. Well, that makes sense. To honor the miraculous rescue of Shurik. Oh yeah, that's a thing. And it's all thanks to you. It was clear that getting the strawberries wasn't the last thing left to do. And why, please tell me, if I am such a hero, why do I have to organize a celebration in my name all by myself? Well, I guess... So, I have an important task for you. We are missing yeast, flour, and sugar. So, basically the main ingredients for making this cake. I mean, you're gonna need some sort of liquid to bind it all together, but... Really? And need it all in the canteen before dinner. And those who will make the cake can't deal with it on their own somehow? I asked pitifully. Of course they can't. All of them are busy. And you're the only one in the whole camp who does nothing. While her words were partly true, that doesn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So, write it down. You'll get yeast in the infirmary, flour in the library, and sugar in the clubhouse. Wait, why is flour in the library? Yeah, not to mention sugar in a clubhouse or yeast in an infirmary, but that raises questions. Wait it. I have no time, I'm in a hurry. Good luck. She smiled slyly and left. Of course, there are a lot of strange things in this camp, but yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can deal with that, but flour in the library? And sugar? No, It's way beyond my comprehension. I spat on the floor. I don't want to, and I will not believe this. Tell me. Just tell me you're pulling my leg. I would not be surprised if a crowd of fat green trolls would appear right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated to laugh at me. So maybe to hell with this cake. I weighed my options for some time. No. If such a major plan of Olga's fell through, I'd be in for a world of hurt. And it would complicate both my life in the camp and my search for answers, which I've stopped for quite a while. Yeah, no shit. We're already on to day 5 and we have nothing except confusion. Lots and lots of confusion. It seems I have no choice. It seems we have no choice but to end this here for this episode. We are out of time. What is going on in this story? Just... what? What? So, we completely waste so much time trying to find Shirk and getting smacked about because of it. Doesn't answer any questions, it just raises so many more. Now we're celebrating his return by doing errands to bake a cake because, hey, why not? We really aren't just going to end up on day 7 with no clue why we're here or what's going on or anything. There's not going to be any answers. Just confusion. Nothing but confusion. So next time round, we'll make our choices. I don't know if we get to do all 3 locations or not. We shall find out. But until then, thank you all for joining me. See you all next time round. And until then, go be creative.